Shout out to the double negatives out there.
Texting. We have a full house tonight, America. Shut the fuck up, Joel. No one gives a shit.
Do you know how to put that on my
Shut the fuck up. I'm just shutting it off. I'm shutting off Joel's big mouth. Okay? Shut up, Joel. You're not here.
Him and Chris are making babies over text.
Yeah, forget it. Anyway, look at this is IDD Fields, you know. That is the Rodella One High Question with Law Dog and my brother from a not so adjacent mother, brother-in-law John, back from a parade of pigs and whores. He is down here for Big A Train's 11th birthday, which is officially today. Happy birthday, little man. I love you.
11
years old today. Yes, the little man, the chip off the old block.
We like to call him Tony Miggs around here.
Yeah. Call him Needles, Tony Needles.
Tony Miggs.
Tony Needles. That's his football nickname, Needles.
Tony Needles.
Tony
I like it.
Johnny Izzo and Tony Miggs.
Johnny Needles and Tony Miggs.
What's John's show name?
Him?
Yeah.
Did we ever give him one? We have to give him one. He's been on here enough times.
I'm the double negative.
The double.
The double negative.
He's the uninformed.
No. Brian was the uninformed.
Brian was clueless.
No, Brian was the uninformed.
We get Brian. But he's on here more than Brian.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's been on here. He's been the summertime. He does a show with me. Brian does one show.
But that was Brian's name, though. We can't give him the same name as Brian.
What do you think? What should we give him?
I don't know.
How about Johnny Picks? And they'll think it means Johnny Sports Picks, but it's really because the man's got an eye behind the camera.
Ooh.
Johnny Picks.
I like this.
That actually might work. What do you think about
What do you think? I mean,
put your comments in the section below.
Johnny Picks. With Johnny Picks?
Johnny Picks.
Yeah. Johnny Picks might not be bad. I kind of like that.
No, he's not a loan shark from Vegas. Johnny Picks.
P-I-C-S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Picks. Yeah, the abbreviations. Anyway.
Do you guys think that the cheerleaders of the Patriots should have been called the Belichicks?
No.
I kind of like it.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
The new girlfriend's interesting.
I know, right?
It looks weird every time I see it.
Well, Grandpa.
Hot for a granddaughter, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Anthony and Belichick's girlfriend both turned 11 today.
It's true.
It's very bizarre.
And the worst part about it is she is a fox. She really is.
Yeah,
next to him, it just looks weird.
It just looks weird.
Yeah.
Even his ring, even the bling, he had all the bling on. He had like 5 of those Super Bowl rings. It didn't matter. You started to look like Thanos with all the rings. It was just like,
as long as she's willingly doing it, I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
you got to wonder why. But anyway,
I think they're both getting something out of it, and good for both of them.
good for both of them. Yeah. So anyway,
Maybe she got on the wheel. Who knows?
she did. Anyway,
Life
this is
insurance
segment
policy.
1. ID. It is a Freestyle Friday Super Bowl preview. That will be segment 1. But first, a bit of good news. Kudos, applaud, happiness, flowers, bouquets to my man. Pete Pipe Alonzo is going nowhere.
That's right.
He has agreed to a 2-year, $54 million extension with a player option. What does Tom do? He leans into me as I try to give him his flowers and farts.
Do not.
That's
That's a little early. I mean, that's usually segment 3.
Don't let him match.
That was
Do not go outside.
Clearly.
That was wet.
Do not go outside.
That was moist and meaty. Oh, God.
Hey, Pete's back in Queens.
Pete's back. So I wanted you to take, first of all, when you heard the news, you started texting him. But this is your moment, so have at it. First thoughts when you saw the deal. What were you thinking?
I mean, I loved it. I've been waiting for them to sign Pete. You spend, $750 million on Juan Soto. You have to fill out the roster. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing?
Yep.
I like the fact that, I feel like Pete deserved more than he got, but the market dictated nobody else was paying the guy.
Right.
They offered him 3 years, $70 million plus deferred money. He turned that down and chose to take 2 years, $54 million.
$27 million a year.
He's getting 30 the first year, so he's the highest paid first baseman in baseball for 1 year. And if he has a great year, he can opt out and try to get paid again.
Okay, that's fair.
If he has a down year, he just takes the $24 million for the second year.
Calls it a day.
That's creative.
Yeah. So
That's fair, though. That's fair.
Right. I mean, Pete's betting
He's 30, right? He's 30 years old.
He's 30.
So,
and this year, if he hits 27 home runs, he is the Mets all-time leader in home runs.
Wow.
So, like...
Darryl Strawberry, right?
Darryl Strawberry. So you had to bring him back. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah.
Now their lineup is a legitimate force to be reckoned with.
And that lineup was 2 games from the World Series last year.
That's right.
Let's be clear.
That's right.
They are better than they were last year.
The problem is the Dodgers got better.
The Dodgers always seem to get better. We turn around, the Dodgers sign another All-Star from somewhere.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's like
the starters 1 through 5 on the Dodgers pitching staff is just a joke.
like 5 Cy Young.
But I think anything can happen in a baseball series.
It can. That is true.
So when you have Lindor, Soto, Alonzo, Vientos was the young guy this year that stepped up and hit almost 30 bombs in like 110 games. So they can legitimately contend.
Yeah.
And, David Stearns, president of baseball ops, is a beast.
Let me ask you this.
Steve Cohen, they went to Florida to seal the deal.
I'm glad they did.
They flew down to Florida.
That's good.
And
They
Steve Cohen, they sat across from each other. They let Pete say his piece. They said theirs, and they signed
They agreed to it, which is good.
So,
That's good
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this, and maybe it's a no-brainer, maybe it's not. As now that he is signed, if we're going by rosters, are they the second best roster in the National League behind the Dodgers? Or are they still,
an argument can be made that they are,
Right, 'cause I know
but they're
San
still
Diego's-
they're better than San Diego.
Okay.
It's Philly and Atlanta that I think
Are there.
right there with them.
Okay.
but
they're there.
they're there,
They're there.
and the idea right now is as long as they can get in, it doesn't really matter.
Yep. True.
Because they showed last year
Yeah.
they can beat Philly, they can beat Milwaukee.
They own Philly.
They own Philly.
They own Philly. Philly doesn't want to see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Philly still might have better pitching staff than them. Same with the Braves.
Yep.
But they competed with both those teams down the stretch last year.
They went through them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, to get in. Yeah.
They had to go through them. And then once they were in, they beat Philly. So, yeah, I mean, they're right. They're right on level
there.
with those teams.
Okay.
You have the Dodgers and then
Yeah, the Dodgers are the Dodgers are starting like the '86 Celtics. This is ridiculous.
Loaded. It's crazy.
They're loaded. I mean, this is nuts. I mean, they just got because every time you turn around, oh look, they signed another All-Star. It's like what the fuck? Where is the money coming from?
Yeah.
And I know this because Ohtani did this fucking ridiculous. Oh, we're going to defer like $280 million of it for whatever it is. I mean,
It's like a Bobby Bonilla type of thing? Deferred, or is it like...
It's way worse than Bobby
worse
Bonilla.
than-
With Bobby
Yeah.
Bonilla, so the Madoffs,
Yep.
you remember Bernie Madoff?
Of course, yeah.
So
Made up with your money.
Yeah, he made off
Literally.
a lot of people's money.
He made off
So-
a lot of money, yeah.
So the Mets ownership, the Wilpons, were being duped by Bernie Madoff.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
Remember this.
owed Bobby Bonilla $5 million, but they were making money. At least they thought hand over fist with Madoff. So they said, "Look, we'll defer your money. They gave him this option. We'll pay you in 20, 30 years, whatever it was, $1.5 million for 25 years instead of paying you $5
do nothing
now."
and get $1 million.
I thought it was longer than that.
Instead-
Because it's 2036 or something that he's got it through.
Yeah,
doesn't
but
he?
they waited like 20 years, 25 years
For that money to
start.
kick in. I see.
So
Okay.
it's like a 25-year deal or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Very smart. Great
at
retirement
the time,
plan.
Great retirement
But
plan.
at the time, $5 million handed to Bernie Madoff, and he made it seem like
It was 25 million, right? It was-
well, probably
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah, sure.
So they made that deal, but now Shohei Ohtani signed a $700 million contract, 10 years. They're only paying him $2 million a year.
Right. Oh my God.
So
So
they
at the
deferred what? $690 million?
At the end of 10 years, at $2 million, it's $20 million. It'll be $680 million they will.
Okay,
owe.
680.
But with inflation, it's only going to be $40 million. Yeah, so it's an
Once Uncle Sam takes
It's
his
like
cut.
Bitcoin or something, right?
Yeah,
We're buying a bunch of
It'll be
MicroStrategy.
$100 an egg.
but obviously, in some way, it's got to benefit him.
Yeah, for sure.
and he's fine because
He's got money
because
from-
of the endorsements.
And
But-
he's got money from his other contract from the other teams that he was on. He already made a ton of money with fucking.
he's
fine.
And he's getting $17 million from his interpreter because they just ruled out.
Did you hear about
Did you
that?
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going for 5 years, right? Almost 5 years.
9 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has to pay $17 million in restitution. Hey, yeah, little side note about Bernie Madoff, right? He had 2 boats. One was called Big Bull, and the other was called Little Bull. I mean, nothing raised a red flag with this guy. His name is made up with your money, and his boats are named bullshit. You know?
Dude, but the reason the Dodgers are so rich is they're not owned by a person. It's an ownership group that's worth like
That Magic is a part
they're
of.
worth
Yeah.
like $300 billion.
Yeah.
I think Magic touched.
How much?
$300 billion.
He's been pretty successful.
I called it with the Commanders. I called it.
Oh, they'll eventually win.
Yeah,
Everybody else has.
They're going to win. They're in the championship this year. If they get what's his nuts from Cleveland, they have Miles Garrett.
No.
Yeah.
But the ownership group that owns
just
the
committed
Dodgers.
Michigan
They
State.
also own a whole bunch of others.
He said whatever Izzo needs. I mean,
The buying power they have is worth like
He's a
$300
winner.
billion.
he's a winner. He's a
He's
great
that
businessman.
clout. The greatest point guard ever walks in a room and everybody just bows.
So the Mets have the richest single owner in baseball, Steve Cohen.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He's worth
got-
like $22 billion. But the Dodgers are owned by this group that has, I don't know what they're called.
Magic's a billionaire. He's one of the owners.
Yeah.
He's one.
LA.
We knew
You're talking about the Dodgers. Yeah,
We knew the
Dodgers.
previous owner of the Dodgers, Boston guy there that owned all the parking lots.
The one that got divorced. And
Yeah. And his wife made him give him a rose every day on her desk. It's like, come on.
Yeah. It's very specific,
That's very specific, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yes.
Yeah, specifically F you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're being specific, yeah.
What the hell's his name? O'Connell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I'm trying to find this. Guggenheim Baseball Management.
Guggenheim.
It just sounds rich,
It does.
Yeah.
right?
It sounds wealthy.
I
It
hope
sounds
I
like
hope I didn't just pull this
like
off
Rothschild
Twitter.
rich or Illuminati rich. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one of
I think
the one of the 13 wealthy
one of the-
families.
yeah, one of the- Yeah. One of the people that are on that part of the, the billionaire boys club there.
Like the Ford Firestone family.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, so kudos to the Mets. I'm happy for him because this was literally since they got eliminated. I've been hearing this. Okay, and I get why, because he's his favorite player, and I get it. And by the way, he's been a great Met. But it came down to one at bat, and it could have been his last one. How did he respond? He hit the fucking thing over the fence, which is what a winner does. Like, oh no, I'm not going nowhere. Bang, fuck you. Okay, that's what a winner does.
I could be wrong about that. This is saying some guy, Mark Walter, owns them, and he's worth 12
Majority
billion.
owner?
He's a majority owner.
Okay, so
But I
he's-
thought they
but
had
there's-
this like ownership group that
They
was
do,
worth
because
all this money.
Magic's in that group. He's just the majority owner.
Did RJ just buy out that group? Or?
Yeah.
I didn't
Actually, IDD.
We own their ass now.
Yeah, no.
Let's start selling off the
No,
assets.
seriously though, to what you were just saying, Pete Alonso gave me my best Mets moment
Ever.
of all
In his
time.
life, yeah.
I know it was in a wild card round, but they haven't
cares,
won,
man, yeah.
they haven't won a World Series since I was 4. So
Wow.
So, no, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the Mets. I'm happy for Mets fans because they finally got one. Like, I mean, they got Soto, that's great, but this is the guy they needed to keep because not just is he productive, he's a core guy. He's a locker room guy, and championship teams, you've heard this at nauseum, they all say it, there's a chemistry. He's a big part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big part of that, and you can't lose that guy.
and we got a bowl named after him.
And you do. We do. Big Pipey.
Pipe
We have Big
Alonzo.
Pipe Alonzo is a fixture is a feature on this set. Absolutely. So of course with the Dago Bauer,
You get in trouble with Pipey.
You get in trouble with Pipey.
You can.
Oh, Big Pipey. No. Yeah, Big Pipey is different than Pipe Alonzo. Pipe Alonzo's not big. Nobody's Big Pipey. He bats third. Pipey bats cleanup.
Got it.
Pipey.
I'm still learning.
Have you seen Pipey? Did we show you Pipey?
No.
Oh, we'll do that between takes when you're taking all your pictures of the offset stuff. Yeah. Anyway, enough of the winning and the happiness. Let's turn to some real fucking losers. The Boston Celtics are a bunch of cunts. All right.
That's a little.
NBA champs.
Right? I'm very clear.
He's going hard. He's going hard.
There's no pleasing RJ. If
Not
I
after last night, not after the 10th home loss in the season. Again, to a team that was barely over 500, a team that was missing 3 fucking starters.
It was bad.
And the Celtics did what they always do. Oh, wait, who's out of the lineup? We're fine. And they were down 17 at the half. Or still at the half. They got bent over in the
were
third
down by a
quarter.
lot more
Jason
than that
Tatum
in
took
the
12
third.
shots. Jason Tatum, do the world a favor. Shut the fuck up. Don't ever talk about Larry Bird again. Don't ever let that hair come out of your mouth. Larry Bird, in a 4-year span, okay? 4-year span. They've now lost 10 home games this year. By the way, most of those teams have losing records, or they're around 500, okay? Larry Bird, from 84 to 87, home, lost a total of 10 games. 4 fucking years. These donkeys, who on paper have the best team in the world that's not close, have lost 10 this year for the same fucking reasons. So yes, they're a bunch of cunts, and I hope they see this, because honestly, I'm sick of you. And everything, take your $300 million and go fuck yourself. You and Jaylen Brown, go fuck yourself. I'm sick and tired of your bullshit. Oh, it's one game.
sorry, Kathy.
It's one game in the season. Tatum, I'm so sick of your fucking excuses. Okay? You got to be the most. It's unbelievable. Kyrie Irving walks into town. This is the team you played in the finals last year. Okay. Oh, by the way, the guy who took a title from you, Klay Thompson's out there. And what do you donkeys do? You let him go off for 23 points in the first half. It's the best shooting half he's had all fucking season. Because you donkeys didn't want to play any defense. This is the guy who took a title from you, and this is how you respond?
Okay.
Honestly, no.
I offer a little devil's advocate?
No, there's no devil's advocate.
With clean language?
No.
You can turn your volume back up on Kathy.
No.
Now, I am not going to disagree, but with a little sidecar. I got a little sidecar.
So you don't
say, I don't
disagree.
disagree.
I can say that.
I don't disagree, but I'm going to put another double negative on top of that double negative, and then
Is it going to be proof positive?
Then I'm going to use the absolute value of, and then I'm going to give you the sidecar. So this is how I feel about the Celtics. First of all, I love the Celtics. So yes, I'm willing to give them a little play and use my imagination to come up with a little fantasy, but here it is.
Close the door.
When it's easier, you don't rise to that challenge as fully as that.
That's my response to that right there. That right there says it all. I couldn't have responded better. Right?
So I feel
that's
like
my opinion of that.
I feel like on the road it's tougher and you're up for the game.
They have the best record in the league on the road.
I know.
Because it's a harder task.
So I feel like when you come home and you have to win, I feel like we can have
John,
faith that they're going to have.
That explains 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah.
Not 10.
I told you I didn't disagree.
10. 10. It's not even Valentine's Day. 10.
Here's the interesting.
It's not even the All-Star break.
Here's the
10.
interesting part of the other night.
It's not even. The trade deadline just happened. 10.
They were actually 42% from behind 3, and they only took 37.
Here's the problem. Mr. Tatum, 12 shots, the best player on the team. Yeah. Suppose we think in the world, how do you take 12 shots against the team? I don't know why he's
done the last 3 minutes. Because they started playing the last 3 minutes.
Pritchard showed up.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
The game was over and started playing because Peyton Pritchard only goes one way. Peyton Pritchard ain't the problem. The leadership in this team is the problem. It's the $200-300 million butt boys there that say, the whole world's against us. No, they're not. Okay? Here's the problem. You make $300 million and you're in Boston. They expect results, and what they don't expect are double-digit losses to sub-500 teams, and you're healthy, and they weren't. That's a joke. They played Philly before Cleveland. They fucked around for 3 quarters on the road, realized they were missing, and then 38-16 in the fourth quarter.
Skin of their nuts.
But the point is, that shouldn't have happened either. When are they going to learn? When are they going to fucking learn?
I think late May.
Late May. I got news for you. They keep this up, they won't be playing in late May. Okay? They'll be gone in early May.
They only hit 3 3-pointers in the last 5 minutes.
They ended up losing 127-120. It wasn't.
See, it seemed like more though. I was like, man, they're just coming
close.
back. It's pretty crazy.
It wasn't that close.
was right up there.
Close the door.
He doesn't have a button.
Yeah, sorry. Close the door.
He's just really upset about the Celtics again.
Close the door, Mia. Close the door, Mia.
Can you please quiet it down a bit, though?
Close the door,
I
man.
need to sleep.
Yeah, it's Friday night because you have to get up in the morning. Close the door.
But I do need to sleep.
You don't sleep during the week on a school
Man,
night.
we know you're not going to bed.
You're not
yet.
going to bed. You're full of shit. Close the door.
Mom's telling you to shut.
So Jason Tatum was a game best or worst minus 22 while on the court.
Minus 22.
The only other person anywhere near him was Luke Cornett that was a minus 20.
Who's a bench guy?
Who's a bench guy, and y'all were getting thrashed, so everybody's going to be a minus. But Tatum a minus 22. That
shot attempts.
He was 5 for 12. He's got to be more aggressive than that.
5 for 12. They only went to the line 15 times.
Al Horford played 21 minutes and scored 3 points. Yeah, it's just a strain. It's
not strange. This is what they do.
It's lackadaisical.
They've done. It's ridiculous how often this happens. When are you gonna learn? It wasn't even 53s last night. He's right. He actually shot up. They played no defense. No defense. Yeah. None. You thought after Klay Thompson hit his 3rd 3 in a row that somebody might have done something about it. You know what happened? He came down the next play. He was more open than the last play. He hit his 4th 3 in a row.
And Kyrie's not good in that building ever.
No.
Not since he left at all.
They've shut him down.
So that was like,
They looked. They do this all the time. They looked and saw, okay, 3 starters out. And they blew them out in Dallas or in the air. Cakewalk. They do it all the time.
Well, yeah, so they let the Dallas bench kill them.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie had 22 points.
Yeah, Dinwiddie.
Although he was a minus 18. And Marshall, I don't know who that is, he had 20. And then Max Christie, the guy they just got in the Luka trade, had 15.
Yeah.
Green, Michigan State guy.
Oh, yeah?
He is.
He slapped around the Knicks a couple nights ago. Dante Exum, he was lighting y'all up too. Right?
Everybody was. I was lighting them up. I was here.
Dante Exum was plus 29. Good God.
It's rough.
It's rough. I mean, so look, you earned that. That's what you earned because you've done this 10 times now at home. You know what? I'm almost hoping you blow all these seeds because you can't play at home. How do you wet yourself at home this often? Explain that to me. Did you not win a championship on that floor 8 months ago? What the fuck? I'm serious. This is a joke. I mean, and look, I can't even blame this on Missoula because when you come out and play defense like that ain't on the coach. That's the players. That's effort. That's all it is, and that's all it was against Philly. Then you go to Cleveland on the best team, and you lock everybody down. They kicked Cleveland's ass for 4 quarters. They led at 3 different times by 20 points at 3 different stages in that game in Cleveland.
And that's probably the best team.
That's the best team in the league besides Boston. Cleveland never led. They never fucking led, and they played defense. If they had played defense, they still scored 120 points. If they played defense, they would have won. But when you're not playing defense, that's effort. That is not coaching. Don't tell me Joe Mazzulla didn't say in the pregame, hey, you know who these guys are. You faced them in the finals.
I bet he was really arrogant at the press conference after.
Maybe, arrogant about what?
Anything.
Not
He
much
usually is.
arrogant.
But I haven't watched it, but
Yeah, he can be standoffish sometimes.
he's very standoffish.
For me, it's kind of like this, though. And I know you're already gone to beyond this point. But, because I think Tatum's arguably the best player in the league.
In the world.
I think they are the best team in the league.
Talent-wise,
But when do you become what you're doing on? If you're just gonna not try against teams you think you have in the bag.
Look at the Cleveland
when do you
game.
become not the
Those
best
losses
team?
will come back to bite you.
They come back to bite you in the
Now
face.
you're a
The best
3
team,
seed.
yeah, right.
You know what
And
I
the
mean?
best
You
team
don't have home
can't
court
do
advantage or
shit
whatever
like
it is.
that.
Yeah. So
not
a good idea.
When does that start to take effect and you go, well, maybe Tatum isn't the best player in the world because the best player in the world wouldn't just stand there and lose to
That's true.
Dallas with no Luka
Yeah.
and no AD and just not really a very good team. I mean, I still think he's the best. If I had to pick one player to start a team with, I'd go Tatum. I really like Tatum like that.
Tatum's A game is better than everybody else's A game.
Yeah.
That would include Jokic.
Nico Harrison would take Anthony Davis.
If
Yeah,
Nico
exactly.
Harrison,
He had one
I can
player.
just feel Nico Harrison's not going to be
He'd
wrong
take
on
AD.
this. He's not going to be wrong. He has been watching Luka for 6 years. He knows him better than anyone.
Well,
Trust me, that decision did not come lightly.
I love
It didn't come in
watching him
research.
cry, I have to say.
Who?
Luca.
He's going to be doing a lot of
God,
crying
he
in
is a
L.A.
cry-
He is.
we identified.
His face turns all...
Yeah, we said he's probably a bigger crier than LeBron.
It's fitting their teammates now, don't you think?
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of that. Yeah.
Between Lacroix and him. And
Dude, remember last year was it the finals when he fouled out and he screamed at the bench, "You better challenge that"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's just oh my god.
And by the way,
And they reviewed it, and it wasn't.
and it was a
was
foul.
a
And he fouled out.
And his face gets all puffy, too.
Oh,
it's
man, yeah.
wow, how do you even do that,
no, I mean,
Worried about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
and you said it. These losses pile up, and the other problem, this is what the Celtics don't seem to get. The more teams that beat you, the more confidence you give your opponents.
Yes.
Basketball, more than any other sport, and I can speak to this better than most people, is 90% mental. And all you're doing
The
is
other
telling
50%
10%.
physical.
No, 10%.
No,
90%
No,
mental.
it's
Well, you could also
Yogi
argue it's a
Berra.
rhythm sport,
Yogi
too.
Berra, yeah, we
So
were
you don't
talking
want to
about
go in
Yogi
these...
You
want to
can't
play
be
hills
doing
and valleys,
this.
right?
You can't be doing this. It's like what and again, these are teams that you may face down the road.
Yeah.
You can't put this idea
it's a
in their
close
head.
game.
Yeah, that they can beat you.
That they can compete, right.
The only thing that the Celtics have accomplished so far is told everyone they can be beat.
Yeah.
That's all they've done. That's all they've
But
accomplished.
every time they play the fucking Knicks, they come to play. Give me a fucking break.
Well-
Can they not show up tomorrow?
Yes, they can.
God.
They cannot show tomorrow. I have a feeling though they will because they're getting blasted in the Boston.
Yeah,
84
every
after
time the
last
Knicks
night.
play him, it's like the fucking,
You know why? Because they consider you a threat.
maybe.
They considered Cleveland a threat. What happened? They didn't consider Dallas a threat last night. What happened?
Maybe-
This is not
maybe-
when they
maybe
went to LA. After, they didn't
consider-
They didn't
like,
know
they-
the joke.
they didn't even
Tatum
put the
took less
jerseys on.
shots in that game.
Remember
Yeah.
last year
Oh God.
against LA?
LA came to town, didn't have LeBron or AD, and they
after
beat.
we beat them by 25
Yeah,
on Christmas Day.
it was crazy.
They do this all the time.
Yeah.
They've never
This is not
learned
anything
their
new.
lesson. This is the problem. They're not learning.
Yeah.
They're not evolving.
Yeah.
This is why when people,
It is true what John said though. Sometimes you need that friction. You need the villain on the other end for you to get up. And I'm not saying that's right because as a professional, you should be able to come to the gym and fucking be your best every night. But
What's John? You're really good at math. What's 20,000 times 200?
20,000 times 200.
Yeah.
Why am I good at math?
You were a banker.
Yeah.
okay, so 20,000 is 5 zeros.
4 million.
Yeah.
Add
that would be
4
4 billion.
All right, so give or take, the cost of one Celtics game when sold out is it's $4 million a night, just in tickets. That's the average cost. Okay, around that, 4 or 5 million. Okay, when the people in that arena are shelling out 4 or 5 million a night, they expect results. How about you look at it from that perspective?
What?
200.
As far as
4 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just add
4
zeros.
million.
Super
Yeah,
easy.
add zeros. So my point is this. Look at it from, since you guys have all got paid and you're all fat and happy with your rings now, look at it that way. People shell out a night $4 to $5 million just to sit down and watch your ass. You've lost 10 fucking times at home. 8 of those teams are 500 or below. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shut the fuck up with that. And by the way, you're healthy. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to fucking hear that. I don't want to hear about, it's a long season and sometimes you reach back and it's just not there. And when you're reaching, why don't you stop reaching up your ass and looking for an excuse?
Well, sometimes it's
Or a
nice-
loafy.
Sometimes
Or a
the
loafy.
thumb in the ass is a nice treat. Now I can't reach mine, but I'm
You have
sure
an excuse, Tom.
These guys have long arms; they can probably get in there.
They can probably reach
You
yours.
just get the whole bath towel under there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to do that. I apologize to the Celtic fans out there, but I shouldn't be apologizing. They should be apologizing
Listen, in
to
about
you.
15 minutes, this anger will be gone.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a break.
so.
We'll take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. Segment 2, the pick segment. The Super Bowl is upon us.
Yeah.
We are gonna go around the table. We're gonna break this motherfucker down 6 ways. You're gonna get it all, and you're gonna get a conspiracy theory like you didn't understand.
I want to hear some double negatives out there in the comments. I have a tiny little story.
Yeah.
Last year I asked this man, his son, John, I said, who's stronger, RJ or your dad? Without hesitation, he's like, my dad. And I'm like, wow, okay. RJ's pretty strong too. I'd like to see an arm wrestling match here at some point before we go out here, right? That's what I'm going with. Let's hear in the comments.
You
Let's
don't want to see
give
this.
the people what they want.
People want
Did
that.
you really ask John that?
Yeah, I did. He just
Way to go,
he
John!
looked at me like I was stupid. He's like, my dad.
That's the thing.
He's a power. He's a mitochondria. You know, he's like,
Dude, look, I've got fat strength on my side. Okay.
You got
big guy
fat
strength.
strength.
I have fat strength.
I've got athlete strength.
Call me coach.
Look, when I was in high school, I had fat strength on my side, and I used to arm wrestle all the football players and beat them.
Okay.
The fat strength took over.
The fat strength. So would you leaned on him?
No. And I jerk off a lot.
six-
So I
six-
mean,
hey, you're getting work.
Oh, you're the only one that does that. Oh, okay.
Oh, so here's the other thing. You're a lefty, I'm a righty.
Well, that would be a problem.
It's kind of
hard to do.
Kind of hard to do.
But anyway, 600 some episodes, not one comment about an arm wrestling contest. So I guess, John, you're wrong.
I proposed
He
it.
proposed it in the comments, is what he was saying.
It was like the greatest sand in the oyster. Let's see if we get a few pearls of comments here. You know?
Oh, let's see what it is.
Hey, look, if we get enough comments, we'll do it.
John, you can't comment 60 times on your own. That doesn't count as 60.
If we get 10 pro arm wrestling comments, we will have an arm
We'll
wrestling.
do lefty
And
and
we'll do
righty.
lefty and
We'll do
righty.
lefty and
We'll do
righty.
lefty and
Yeah,
righty.
Right, if we get them.
10 comments on arm wrestling.
Yep. So,
All right.
But hey, Ben, we're going to come back segment 2. We're going to talk NFL Super Bowl 59, right?
59, sir. Yes, sir.
59. We're going to break this down. We've given you our, keys to victory. We're going to pick the winner. We're going to pick the MVP and a conspiracy theory that you are not going to want to miss. Segment 2 coming right up.
What is this?